What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I'm Surge T, and tonight's video I'll be doing Monday Night Raw. I'll be doing my running down and thoughts on Monday Night Raw. And for those of you who watch my channel, you may be in for a surprise, but let's get through this and let's talk about Monday Night Raw. It is the October 25th, 2021 edition, the season premiere. I have an issue with season premiere when WWE doesn't take a break from programming. So how could it be another season? Well, how did he determine seasons? I've said it before. Let's get past that. Big E opens the show, and then Seth Rollins comes out and annoys me. He always does. And then Ray runs down his resume, and that's the reason why he feels that it gives him an entitlement to a WWE Championship match. Now Finn Balor comes out, runs down his resume, and didn't he just lose the King of the Ring finals? And then KO comes out, does pretty much the same thing, but he says it as if to say, well, you guys are doing that, let me do it. And he runs down his impressive resume. And I thought he was going to do his KO show. Apparently not. And then Sonya comes out and she decides to book a fatal four-way as a melee broke out. And she determines to kind of spice it up and make it a little bit more season premiere, worthy. She books a ladder match, a fatal four-way between KO, Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor. And whoever wins that match, of course, will be the challenger to Big E. Triple threat tag team match. Street Profits versus Ziggler and Rude and the Alpha Academy. And the winner faces RK Bro later on tonight. And in the end, what happens? Rude and Ziggler win the match and they face the tag champs later on tonight. And next, Zelina Vega in a segment that I think was the only thing that really, if everything else would have taken the lead from Zelina Vega, the whole show would have been crap. I'm telling you, she's going to be crowned, of course, as Queen Zelina, officially the first ever, Queen's crown winner, the official Queen of WWE. And then she comes out and she chastises Mike Rome because she feels like, well, he didn't give her any kind of justice in his announcement, so he does an over-bloated announcement. And she asked him, right? And she goes, do it over again like we rehearsed. She said it in a British accent, and I was like, oh, fuck no. I'm like, don't even adopt a British accent, Zelina. Don't be like Booker T and do that. And then when she's talking, she goes in and out of her British accent. And I'm like, you either do it and continue or you don't do it at all. And then she has a match with Doudrop. You see the ladies backstage looking at Zelina on the monitor. They're not liking what they hear. Doudrop just runs out there because it's going to be her match. And what happens? She loses to Zelina. And Zelina so far is a dud as queen. Looked like she was struggling on the mic. And I don't like putting her down because I like her. But she really does not come off natural when it comes to being a queen. And she needs to drop the accent. She's talking and she's typical Zelina, right? You know how that's a sassiness. She's talking, like this, and then that when I was and then I want to go to then I'm not going. You're talking British and then you're talking Zelina. Then you're talking British and you're talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know I did a bad accent. That's why I'm not British. So don't expect me to have a great accent. Just like with her, she's not British. Isn't she Hispanic? Isn't she, I don't know, Puerto Rican? Whatever she is from that, from that ethnic group. Shouldn't she be calling herself La Reina of WWE? The Queen. That's Spanish, I believe, for Queen, right? Reina. How about you do that and maybe speak in, I don't know, speak in Spanish or speak in, you know, her her language instead of trying to adopt a British accent. What are you doing, Zelina? You're doing good. You're now being pushed as a queen, and you look like you can be a a good heel queen. But I'm saying you're a dud tonight. Trying to do the British accent. Please don't do that again. I love you, Zelina. Please don't do that again. You're just gonna embarrass yourself like Booker T and Charmel, his wife, did when they were king and queen. Stop, please. Now, Becky Lynch is Raw Women's Champion via a title exchange, and she ain't the real Raw Women's Champ. Because no way am I gonna accept this. You become a champ by beating your opponent, not by being handed the belt. The queen of handouts is Charlotte. She's the one that gets handed championships. I mean, she doesn't win her matches to win titles, but she's always given the title. You know, Becky Lynch never lost her title, right? She was it was she had to leave and have a baby. She put the title in the Money in the Bank, and then Asuka won the Money in the Bank, and she became the Raw Women's Champion via that. But you're not the Women's Champion. You're not the Raw Women's Champion. You got handed the title. You know, it says Becky Lynch is the Raw Women's Champion, but I don't see that. You get handed a title. If you win this match, you know, your next title defense match, and maybe I'll go, okay, you're the Raw Women's Champion because you defended your title. You gotta win the title. You gotta, like I suggested on the was that SmackDown. You don't you don't do that. The draft. If you drafted and you're a champion, you drop your title and you leave it on that brand that you left. That's how it should be. No, none of the champions, the world champions, men or women, should have to. You should be able to take the title with them, right? They should leave them behind. That's just me. Now, as she's talking, Bianca comes out, and she wasn't pinned at Crown Fool. So, is she the rightful number one contender? That always made sense because, if you don't get pinned, then that means that you should still get a shot, right? Because it was the other person. Now, she talks about how she beat Charlotte this past week, right? She beat her on SmackDown. Charlotte was the Raw Women's Champion then. She gave her title to Becky Lynch, so now shouldn't that give her the shot, right? At the Raw Women's Champion? It kind of makes sense, right? Bianca's making sense. But this is the thing I had a problem with because I don't know about her saying Becky is nothing without the title. I love you, Bianca, but that is Charlotte. I think they're trying to take that away from Charlotte. They're trying to take out that kind of a burn from Charlotte because people say that about her. I say that about her ad nauseum, and I'll say it until the day I die. That she, you know, is nothing without a championship because that's how they booked her, and she'll never ever be looked on as anything but someone who needs a title to define her. Now, it ends up, Balor, she wants a rematch. And then Becky tells her, get to the back of the line, bitch. Oh, shit. You don't say that to Bianca and get away with it. And then Becky gets her ass handed to her. Tossed over the announcer's desk. And then Kendo shots in the ring, but Becky does get that kendo stick from her and then uses it and does a Russian leg sweep on her, and with the kendo stick around her, across her neck, drops her down, and then Becky, scoots out the ring because Bianca got got it again, and she tried to hit her again, and she basically just scoops up her title, goes outside the ring, and then she's up on top of the stage, and she says that yeah, you'll get your match, but just not tonight. Now, let's move on to Finn and KO having a discussion backstage and are both in need of winning their match. And KO, he really needs it. He really needs to prove that he still should be in talks of being the number one contender. He needs to be in that top echelon of top contenders for that WWE title. you know, and that he has respect for Finn. They're good friends. They've known each other even before they came to WWE. But he says tonight's every man for himself, and Balor says that this is the way he likes it. Finn Balor doesn't, he's shown, he's proven in the past that he may have a friend here and there, but when it comes to the being inside the ring, there's no friends. That's how it should be. You're going after a world title shot. You're in there. You're not gonna, maybe once in a while, once in a little bit here and there during the match, you might form an alliance to take out some people, and just let it be you two. But in that match, ladder match with the contract hanging up there, they're definitely not going to be friends in this match. Now, T-Bar goes one-on-one with Damian Priest. Now, these two have had some great matches as NXT. But T-Bar was Dominic Dijakovic then. But then T-Bar ends up getting himself disqualified by throwing the announce chair at Priest. And it only pisses off Priest, who destroys T-Bar, and damn, he ends up just throwing him against the steel post, throwing him against the barricade, the stairs, the steps. Then he gets him inside the ring, and then he hits the reckoning. Is that what it's called? Yes, so it's called. And he lays him out. And I gotta say that T-Bar did look good in this match. Okay, you gotta drop the name. WWE, please drop the name. Call him Dominic Dijak or call him Chris Dijak. Just remove Dominic Dijakovic and call him his name he came to WWE with, Chris Dijak. Stop with the T-Bar. He's not with Mace anymore. You know what I mean? Mace, he can probably keep that name. Okay. The T-Bar is generic. It's just, come on. Give him his name back. And give him a thing. Give him an identity. Just make him who he was when he was in NXT. Please do that. Because he deserves better. He's a hand. He's somebody that they can use to, put other people over. Stuff like that. Put him in the damn, U.S. title hunt. Something. Guy deserves better. Now, Carmella has plans. What are they? Anybody care? Anybody? Show of hands. No? Well, I didn't think so. And of course, now she comes to Raw, right? And then Liv follows her to Raw due to the draft. And why does that mean that their rivalry has to extend to Raw? I'm like, enough. And they have a match. Who's going to win the match? I mean, I love Liv, but I hope she wins and gets past Carmella and moves on to someone else. Now, yes, please. I'm thinking, to keep Miz away, guys. Vote for the Miz to stay on Dancing with the Stars because, like I've said, he's annoying as fuck. I don't like him, and I don't want him annoying me anymore. I'm tired of seeing him on Raw because he just does the same stuff every goddamn time. So let him go on and stay there. But then, of course, if he does win, that globe, what do they call that? Dancing globe, disco globe trophy, and comes back, he's going to be more obnoxious than ever. And then, all I could do is just, click, fast forward. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, Liv comes out to a nice pop. Then I was thinking maybe it was because it was the piped in sound, but it did sound like people were. There are times when other people would come out and there's nothing, and then you'll hear like the crowd being piped in, the noise, the pipe, the what do you call it, crowd chanting and the crowd applause and all that stuff. The crowd noise is piped in, But with her, it seemed natural. The crowd loves her. I love her. And she comes out with her version of Chucky. Her clothes looking like a little Chucky tribute. Chucky is going to be part of NXT 2.0's Halloween Havoc tomorrow. Haven't watched the TV series yet, but I heard that it's getting good reviews. I may have to check it out. But if that's the case, then what does that mean for Carmella? She puts that damn mask on, that custom-made mask to protect her pretty face. And Carmella's a pretty girl, but why does she have to cover her face? She want to protect her nose or something like that. I mean, that's what this is about. You guys get punched in the mouth, punched in the nose. How you gonna get toughened up if you don't, And so I'm thinking she's doing her imitation of Mike Myers. I mean, Mike Myers. Oh, not Shrek. Michael Myers. With that face mask. That's what I thought. No. But then in the end, the match, I thought Liv was gonna win. She did try to hit her with that move she does off the second rope. always forget the name of it, but she ends up with a pretty slick transition, and you saw Carmella hit a float over face plant. And she pretty much does that to Liv, and Liv loses, and Carmella gets the victory. I'm sorry to hear that because I love Liv, but people still love her, and I hope she bounces back next week. And not against Carmella. Please move them ahead of each other. What else did he have to prove? Come on. Now, Bearcat Lee. Mm, Bearcat Lee. Now, he can come out to the ring all huffing and puffing, but his new gimmick is ridiculous. And the growl you hear on his entrance music, it sounds like a bear with laryngitis or a bobcat with laryngitis. A bear cat, but he's supposed to be a cat or a bear. What is he? And in here, he faces Cedric Alexander. And why does he and Shelton Benjamin still bear the Hurt Business attire? I did see later on that when they came to the aid of Bobby Lashley when Bobby Lashley was defending or not defending, but he was battling Goldberg at Crown Full, and they came out. So I'm thinking, okay, they're still with him, but then why? You know what I mean? It's just like it's one of those things where let's get to it. All I'm thinking about is hurry up, there, Bearcat, and take out Alexander, and he does. He does that whole thing where he has him on his shoulders and he slams him down, you know, with a power slam, and does it. Beats Alexander, pins him, and that's it. That's okay. Okay, whatever. It's done. He takes him out, and the whole time he's like huffing and puffing and yelling loud and stuff. And I'm going, is he trying to convince himself that this gimmick is perfect for him or is good for him? Keith Lee, he doesn't need Bearcat. Doesn't need that. And then I hear that because he was taken out for a while because he got COVID. And then I hear that they don't want to put him in the main event because he has COVID and he's not trustworthy. But then again, I do remember hearing that, what's his name, Booker T was kind of throwing shade at old Bearcat Lee there, Keith Lee, because of that. He doesn't think that he could be a main eventer. He should be, he's kept out of the main event. What does that matter? He's here. He's featured in this match. You know, I'm sure he got treated for it, and I'm pretty sure he's he's vaxxed. It's gotta be, right? You think he would do that after getting COVID, right? So he's okay. He should be okay, right? But that'd be a dumb reason. That'd be a dumb reason to keep him out of a possible main event spot. Remember what he did at that what do you call it? Was that Raw reunion? What was that? Not a Raw reunion, but the Legends show, whatever that was. And he main evented, challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. He almost won, and he looked great. But man, this Bearcat Lee is ridiculous. Nothing against Keith Lee. I'm a big fan. This gimmick is ridiculous. It is, and he really needs to. I don't know. He came to WWE with such a with a great reputation. He was sought after by WWE. They brought him here. They did well with him. He became the NXT champion and the North American champion. And then what? Comes here and he started off good, and then boom. Now, Dominic Mysterio and Austin Theory have a match. And why did Ray go for the whole selfie horseshit from Austin Theory backstage? Dominic did get in between his dad and then said that, hey, and then pretty much he accepted a challenge from Austin Theory, and then they had a match. But before that, we see Corey Graves sticking his foot in his mouth. He's a fool. Because, like, after Theory does the Eddie Guerrero shimmy, this thing like this, right? And then he goes, like, you guys have an issue. You guys are okay when someone else does it, when the Mysterios do it, but then you got an issue when Austin Theory does it. You're saying he's disrespecting thing, and he's pretty much saying that he's not disrespecting him. He's doing it. You guys don't have a problem when they do it, but when he does it, and then he goes, it's okay for him to disrespect, Eddie Guerrero, something like that, where it's okay for him to be disrespectful. And I'm going, did you just say that he's not doing that, but then you say he is disrespecting him? He is being disrespectful because that's his attitude, because that's his thing, and I'm going, do you guys, does he ever, or any of these guys who always put their foot in their mouth, do they ever make sure that they don't say something that makes them sound stupid? Like you're saying that he's not trying to disrespect, and then you're saying, oh, he's doing it just because that's him. He's the kind of guy that just likes to get under people's skin and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. And then in the end, Theory delivers the ATL and wins the match. What's going on with Dominic? They're supposed to be building him up. He's a young superstar. He should be beating up other people. He should be beating other people, not putting him in there with guys that can beat him. Build him up. You know, Send him to 205 Live. Keep him there for a while. And then bring him back. That's what they should do. Build him up. Put him on NXT. You imagine Dominic Mysterio? He can then do his own thing because then Ray will be on the main roster. And they'll be apart from each other. And then when time comes to put them back together, you know. Now, this is the thing that I'm kind of got my eye on, and that's Veer. He's away from the albatrosses known as Shanky and Jinder. He's not going to go nowhere with those guys. Veer is coming to Raw. They show a little bit of a video package there, and he's dominant. I've always said this guy has something. You know, he reminds me of Umaga. Remember Umaga? And I hope WWE pushes him, and maybe they should give him a manager. I don't know who. Hope it be his manager, but be his voice, be his what do you call it? Be the representative and be pretty much the person's speaker. Speaker. The one that could talk for them. And I think that they would definitely go far with him. At least an Intercontinental title run, a United States title run. Maybe challenge for the world title, but they got to work on him. And I think they got something there if they do and work on him, right. Now, the Raw Tag Team title match, RK Bro versus Rude and Ziggler. Rude and Ziggler won that triple threat match earlier. And Rude is RKO'd in the end, and Riddle rolls up Ziggler in a small package. And RK Bro retained their titles. And again, another roll-up. But WWE loves their roll-ups. Now, again, why does WWE keep on insisting, the broadcasters keep reminding us why the main event is happening? They showed the same video package like 2 or 3 times. Oh, the melee that happened earlier between the 4 men that are going to battle in the Fatal 4-Way match. And then they showed the aftermath. Then they said Sonya Deville made it a ladder match. And then you see Seth Rollins, hands in the heavens, going, what are you doing? What? Stuff like that, And then we go to Seth Rollins. And then he's blowing a gasket, trying to convince us why he deserves the title shot. They should be handed to him. He doesn't have to he doesn't have to, earn it. Really, Seth? You're great. Even though you annoy the fuck out of me. But you are, I've never said you aren't a great wrestler. Great performer. One of the greatest champions that we've had in the last, 10 years? Like that, right? Ever since you debuted with the Shield, right? Gone on your own. WWE champion, Universal champion, multi-time Intercontinental champion, and, U.S. champion. I think he's a triple crown champion, right? Grand Slam champion, right? But you just don't get it handed to you, Charlotte Flair, remember, I go back to Charlotte again. She's the one, the queen of handouts. She gets stuff handed to her. But you don't. You always earn it. And earn it with the Fatal 4-Way match. Call himself the Visionary. I don't know. Now, the Fatal 4-Way ladder match determined the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship. And speaking of championship, Becky Lynch is going to defend her Raw Women's title against Bianca Belair next week on Raw. And maybe this is how she proves that she is the rightful Raw champion. You just got that title handed to you there, girlfriend. That doesn't make you the champion. Now, this match is actually very good. This Fatal 4-Way match. And Raw was, better. And actually, I would say it was good. There were some things that the only thing that to me was a glaring damn, eyesore maybe a punch to the eye was, the Zelina thing. It was annoying. It was, what was she thinking? She really didn't carry herself well in that segment. I don't know what it was, but that's probably the only glaring thing that, like I said, if everything else, kind of bounced off of that, Raw would have been garbage again. But it was actually good. And then I kept thinking. Then I thought to myself, for how long? Because Raw is notorious for putting out good shows. Remember, guys, this is the first week or so after the draft. And remember, like after first few weeks, Raw's good. And then it takes a major dump, and then it sucks for the rest of the year. So let's see what happens. Like I said, the opening segment was decent. It caused a situation where we're going to have this fatal four-way match. And this match was really good. It was produced well. It was booked well. These guys really did, they put their shit in. They got their spots in. They got their offensive moves in. And these guys worked well off of each other. And I was in the end going, I don't care who wins. It's not going to matter who wins. That person's going to deserve it. They're going to deserve that title shot. And I was like this. I don't care whoever wins. They they deserve it. And then like I said, I enjoyed this match. And then in the end, Rollins pulls down the contract, and I applaud him, even though he can annoy me. He does it every time. But he earned it, and let's see how Big E can answer his challenge. Big E comes out. Rollins looks at him. Big E shit clapping his hands, and then Rollins puts his hand out. Big E looks at it like, and then, Rollins is laughing, that annoying laugh, but for some reason I was able to take that laugh, because sometimes I like to fast forward it, because I hate when he laughs. The obnoxious laugh that he does. And then he just walks away and goes, "Yeah, there ain't nothing you can do about it," and that's true, because he's the number one contender now. So this depends when they're going to get it on and have that title match. But anyway, that was my video for Monday Night Raw. Surprisingly, it pissed me off. I enjoyed it. Some things I didn't, but Raw did a better job this week. But like I said, is it gonna last? Is it gonna last? Few weeks. This time, November, December, everybody's gonna be bitching about Raw again, and I'm gonna be bitching about it again because it's gonna suck. I know it. I just know it. I shouldn't even give it that kind of thing, that kind of a pat on the back, or give them. I shouldn't even give them anything, because they're not gonna last that long. It's gonna be somewhere in November, before Thanksgiving probably. Mid November, guarantee you, it's gonna suck again. If they can just continue to do it like this, they can just get better and better and better and better. They can build on this. Use this as a template. Let's use this and keep moving upward. But we'll see. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by, checked out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.